room really quickly. Hey, Pistons, Knicks. What is your series prediction of Final Sound?
Just briefly, I'm going to go Pistons in 6.
All right. Hey, JB Smooth, just briefly, because you guys know we're running this back tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
JB Smooth.
Oh, Pistons in 6. Man, come on now.
Hey, chopsticks, Pitsy sticks, New York Knicks, Pistons in 6. All day long.
Man, they chopped. The Knicks are like they bootleg sandwich. They chop cheese right now.
Chop cheese, the Aki way.
They chop cheese.
Hey, Rod Beer, what say you, brother?
Pistons in 7.
Hey,
I love it.
I've
Game
moved.
at the Garden to win the series.
I moved the Pistons in 7 as well. I was initially early on Pistons in 6. Moved the Pistons in 7 as well. And I do. Cade, that you said it best. Cade Cunningham, Game 7 in the Garden.
God, set him on.
It's a new day. We're talking about a new day right now.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Let's get that graphic up there on the screen, JB Smooth. Let's cook it up. You see Rod, he's already smiling. Let's get it going, boy. Swisher break time, guys. What's that graphic say? Swisher break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will, when you get a chance, play me some pimping, man. And we will get right into this thing. We have a lot of Swisher brick statements. Everybody contributed, from Sam to Kool-Aid to myself. So we'll try and get through as many of these as we can with you, Rod.
Rod, how much time you got? So we'll know how many questions we'll roll with you.
5
minutes.
Let's
okay, cool. All right. So the first one. Cade Cunningham is the best player in the Pistons versus Knicks series, swish or brick.
Hey, you guys have seen those stats all season. You've seen the names that he's been amongst all year, and it's only been a handful. And he was one of 9 players to finish with the stat line he did of at least 26 points average, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. And this season, that puts him just amongst Nikola Jokic. Cade Cunningham, and it's clearly the best point guard in the East. And even though the Knicks have a couple MVP candidates over there, these guys do not. And you check the stats, you check the impact. These guys are not having the same level of impact that Cade Cunningham is. But Flannel Sam, what say ye?
Easy swish. If the Knicks might have 2 through 5, honestly, but the Pistons clearly have 1. Cade Cunningham, no question about it, best player in the series.
JB, really quick.
Forget a cat, forget a Brunson, forget a rat. It's Cade all day.
Hey, KG.
I'm in the same boat as JB. I mean, Cade is clearly the best player. He's better than Brunson for damn sure. If you want to argue Cat, I can understand it. But at this point, I think Cade has had a better season than Karl Anthony Towns.
It's K-Troit, folks. K-Troit.
K-Troit.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, Rod Beard, what say ye?
If it's not Jalen Duren, it must be Cade. It is.
He's the number 2, Rod. He's the number 2 as of right now. Sheesh, man.
Rod.
Always throwing his little jabs, man. Go to Atlanta and just switch up. But nah, number 2. It will be a snub if Cade is voted any less than first team All-NBA. Swish or brick, Mr. Second team All-NBA.
Hey, listen, you know what? Cade Cunningham, that man, you guys have heard the stats, you've heard me tell it, and there's just a few players in this NBA that I believe, if you're talking about MVP, deserve that consideration above Cade Cunningham. And you look at where the Pistons finished, you look at the historic tripling of their win total, being the first team to go from 14 wins to the playoffs, and a lot of that has to do with Cade Cunningham. I won't repeat those stats, but I will throw it over to Flannel Sam, who this was his submission, and I've been waiting to see what you have cooked up.
Brick. It's not a snub, but it's certainly a question. I think that
shocking me.
I am not going to be up in arms if the NBA puts Anthony Edwards as a first-team All-NBA over Cade Cunningham. I think that it's a question, it's an argument. I personally would pick Cade, but the key word is snub. Anthony Edwards, career high in points, most threes in the NBA. I think that the Timberwolves organization, at least in terms of meeting expectations this year, kind of effed him by trading Karl Anthony Towns, because say what you want about Cat, he was big for those teams. And the fact that Ant Edwards was able to lead this team to the playoffs and not the play-in and that gauntlet of a West, withstanding, the Golden State Warriors and the Grizzlies of the world, Ant certainly is in consideration. I think Cade or Ant, it's 50-50.
JB Smooth.
I kind of got to go with Flannel on this one and give this one a brick as well, too. The key word there is snub. Once again, we're getting national media love right now, but I don't think people are still fully behind Cade as well. So as you've seen from the 10-0 them picking the Knicks over us. So this is a brick for me.
They will definitely see him in this playoff series.
Yeah.
All eyes will be on Madison.
They better.
Square. What up, though, KG?
No, this is a brick, and the national media, has an argument about first team All NBA. They could easily just, not keep Cade out of that. But where I go is second and third team, and y'all know I've been on this all year long. There is absolutely no reason why he can't make third team, and at this point, there's absolutely no reason why he can't make second team. So, Rod, if he doesn't make second or third team, I'm blaming you because you and Omari St. Kofa was supposed to get this shit together with the NBA media. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. You kept telling me all year, like, no, he won't win all NBA because of the national media. I think that's changed.
And for the record, let me just give one caveat. No worse than second team. If you told me that Cade and Donovan Mitchell were the second team All-NBA guards, I'd be cool with that. But if you told me that Ant Edwards and Donovan were second team and then SGA and Cade were first team, I think that would be perfectly acceptable as well.
And Mark J. Spears has led that conversation every step of the way. Like, we would bounce around the ideas, and then Mark J. Spears, we would see him. He would actually go and stamp the idea. He belongs in the MVP conversation. He belongs in the All-NBA conversation. He was one of the first ones. He belongs in the All-Star game. And then he started to say second team. I saw when he made that, hey, it's the question now All-NBA second team for Cade. And since that time, all Cade and these Pistons did was more of the same dirty work that they've been doing. They've been getting down and handling their business. But Willie B., what say you? Is it a snub if Cade Cunningham is not first team All-NBA?
Yes, I call it a swish on that one because he gets snubbed. He did what he's supposed to do. He averaged 26 points, 9 assists per game, and 5 rebounds.
6 of them.
Yeah, exact 6. Well, thank you, man. Why snub him? He's deserved to be first team. I mean, it's political with the NBA because everybody hates Detroit, and it's Detroit versus everybody. They think, okay, Pistons ain't viable to make it to the league.
I do believe his defense is a little underrated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Both ways. I do believe that. But Rod Beard, what say ye?
I agree. It is it's a brick, and it's a snub only if he doesn't make second team. If he makes first team or second team, I think that is well worth it. Same idea that Flannel Sam put out there that if you said Ant, and I said this a while ago too, if it's Ant, cool. I mean, I get it. I understand because Cade isn't a bigger name. But first team, second team, third team, I think would be a snub. And if he has to be all NBA, like he cannot be not on the third team either. That would be a complete snub.
All right, I was watching what you was gonna say. I got you documented in the booth, man. It's a sticky note that says Rod B says that they will make he will make second team, man. So it's good.
We'll sneak one more in there.
One more. You killing me,
3,
dog.
2, 1.
You know I wanted to ask him about Jalen Duren, man. You had cooked up one about Jalen Duren, but I will go to this one instead. Cade Cunningham needs.
I gotta run. But I'll catch you guys next week.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Rod.
Yep. Sorry, Rod. Thank you.
No, thank you, man.
All right, we'll see you.
Yes, sir. And I'll definitely make sure to talk about Rod Beard some more. That new title, that role that he's in. He's down south in Atlanta. You know, a long-time Detroit guy, long-time media guy. University of Michigan, Detroit News. Covered the Pistons for 7 years before becoming sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News and giving us his time here at Woodward Sports since the beginning. And still giving us his time, even though now he's a senior sports editor at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So shout out to Rod Beard, the legend, still giving us his time.
Big pause, man. But hopping back into Swisher Brick because this is just too damn good. We had to continue it. The New York Knicks are the more talented team in the series versus the Pistons. Swish or Brick?
This is one that I've continued to hear. It's something that I have, even as I continue to look at the teams, I've continued to say, but sometimes I'm conflicted because I love the way the Pistons team has played, even in the absence of Cade Cunningham. But you look up and down the roster of the New York Knicks, and they have a formidable mix, including 2 MVP candidates and players that traditionally can give the Pistons fits and guys like OG Anunoby. But what say ye, Flannel Sam?
Swish, but barely. I may have it's weird because the Pistons have the best player. Then the Knicks probably have, at worst, the 2nd through 4th. And then you got to look at guys like, is Malik Beasley better than Josh Hart? Et cetera, et cetera. You got to go through all of those.
Depending on what you're asking for.
Absolutely. But I think just with the playoffs, rotations shorten, the Knicks having the more talented starting lineup could give the Pistons some problems, and leads me to declare that, not saying the Knicks will win, but they have the more talented roster.
What say JB Smooth?
I'm torn between this one because honestly, looking at their roster, as you said, it is very talented and they are stacked. But if you're asking me, I have more faith in the Pistons roster as it is. So I think this is a brick for me.
No, the Knicks are definitely more top heavy. We have the best player in this series, but they have the next three in Brunson, Cat, and Mikal Bridges. But I don't think it's as far off as most people think it is. I personally think the Pistons have a better bench unit than the Knicks, and that's going to play a big part in this playoff series because outside of OG Anunoby and Josh Hart, I just feel like we have way more offensive firepower and better ball handling coming off the bench than they have. Although McBride ain't nothing to sneeze at either. But I would have to go Swish with this just because, like I said, they're top heavy. They're more top heavy than we are.
Yeah, hey, Willie B.
I'm gonna edge off with a Switch because here's what New York Knicks had. Because Josh had the OG Anunoby, plus they got Cameron, a bench. What's one thing concerned about it?
Bitch?
A bitch.
They got a bitch?
Not a bitch. Not a bitch. A bitch.
It still sounds the same way.
It sounds
It's still not a bitch. I'm not hearing the difference.
But he got Cameron Payne. He got another Precious Achua.
Yeah.
And they bitched a little slightly.
They got all those players.
They ain't
that
got
give the
OS
Pistons
TJ
hits.
Tucker.
Yeah, they saw
They
it.
still they top heavy like you said because they got a good front court off the bench. That's just a little minus what Detroit got, but Detroit kind of edge it out because we got to bench ourselves.
But do they got that Detroit thump though?
No.
Top heavy New York.
No. I mean, I understand it's
We
New
don't
York,
have-
but this is Detroit. We get a little more edgier. You know what I mean? That grit.
Well, that's where it's an interesting conversation because if you were to just ask me, and I kind of alluded to this in the segment with Rod, the best player in the series is Cade. I think 2 through 5 are on the Knicks, but then 6 through 12, all of them except Josh Hart are on the Pistons.
Yeah.
It's a funny. It's going to be a great series.
It's
going to be a great series.
It's going to be one. Let me
battle.
see here because I want to see what the chat is saying as well as it relates to this because it's going to be an interesting one here. And I see Grim says a brick. And if you guys have any more context, definitely throw that in the chat. But Jordan from MI says Brunson is a top 5 overrated player. I'm taking maybe
Brunson?
5 point guards
tripping.
over Brunson. Brunson is tough.
I'll say this
He's
though,
5'11".
taking 5 point guards over Brunson, I don't think that makes him overrated.
No.
I mean, he's not Cade, but he's really good.
Yeah, and he makes his money in the playoffs. I wouldn't say he's overrated by any stretch. He's arguably the best player on that team. And they have Carl Anthony Towns, but he's arguably
I
the
think
best
he's
player.
first option offensively.
Minton May says Pistons are more cohesive. And
I can dig that.
Their offense, especially when you see even how they perform without a Cade Cunningham, is when you really understand their system at play is in work. Because there's times when Cade, Schroeder, and no point guard is on the court, or Sasser, and they're still it's Ron Holland and Beasley in the backcourt, and they're still out there making stuff go.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually lean towards that a lot. That's a good point. That's a really good point. That might show up in our keys tomorrow night. But I'm also seeing a couple more here. Weezy D313 says OG is a unit. Don't we want Asar to be OG, and isn't OG a champion? Yeah, that's one of those X Factor players to me.
Absolutely.
For the New York Knicks. He has some pedigree, man.
Only edge that the New York's had playoff experience for last year, and this is Detroit's first playoff experience in a long time. So I want to see how this is going to go out.
Yep, and Stephen Davis says, talent-wise, it is the Knicks, but Pistons are the better team. And
yes,
that sounds like the recipe or the identity we've heard from a lot of different winning, not just Pistons, but Detroit teams in general. They just seem to find a will, a way, a grit beyond just the talent that they have to get them to that next level and compete with some of the more talented and star-studded rosters.
No, absolutely. It's not as far off as people would think just on paper. This probably is the best first-round matchup of any of the first-round matchups, the most evenly matched one. But let's go to the next one. We know Cade, Malik, and Duran will be top players this season. Who are the next 3 most important players after them? So it's more of an open-ended question instead of a statement.
Yeah. Instead of arguing or trying to figure out if it's Malik Beasley, if it's Jalen Duren as the number 2, the question here is who are those next 3 players? We talk about the Pistons' depth, and that's why I'm glad you asked this one second. You see people in the chat even talking about the fact that, no, man, you know what? The Pistons got the depth. Well, then who are those next 3 players that you all believe are going to step up and be huge X factors for the Pistons? Got a lot to choose from, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
Tobias Harris.
Hey, he showed up.
Y'all better stop.
Article
Y'all
about
better stop playing
about
with that,
the
man.
16 players who could swing the first round series.
You mean Sweet Tea?
Tobias Harris was their pick.
Absolutely.
JB, I'm gatekeeping the F out of Tobias.
Yeah, no, it's playoffs. Y'all got to chill on that TH12 slander, bro. Like he's gonna be good. He is.
I'd go Asar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart just for what he can provide on defense on Cat. That could be the number one thing that swings the series. And I'm
So
dead
what were your
serious.
3 again? You said Tobias?
Tobias, Asar, Stu.
All right. JB Smooth.
Give me Beef Stew, Asar, and Dennis Schroeder.
That's a good one.
Ooh,
He's
that is a good
He's
one.
led them in assist to turnover ratio since he's been a Piston, and he's had the highest assists per game off the bench since he's been a Piston. That's Dennis Schroeder. What up, though, KG?
Yeah, give me Tobias, give me Schroeder, and give me Stu. And once again, I said this yesterday, I need Beef Stew to have that stat line he had a couple games ago. 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound, but your main highlight is harassing the fuck out of Karl Anthony Towns. That's all I care about.
That's it.
Gangsta ass
Harassing
stat
the
line. That's what I need you to go do. But Schroeder is going to be big in the half court in this series. They needed a distributor off the bench that can, run that half court set, be able to play defense and hit shots. He's going to be big. And we all know Asar Thompson, more on him later, but we all know Asar Thompson's defense is absolutely key in this series.
What up, though,
I got Dennis Schroeder, and I got Asar Thompson, and I got B. Stu bitching Karl Anthony Towns for the whole series. If you do
benching
that,
him?
bitching him.
You with this B word, bro. God damn. There's women in the room, bro. Come
I
on.
don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, man. They're going to punk slap him, punking at Karl Anthony Towns since you want
Punk
to change
slap?
it up. Punking him, so that's why I got for the 3. So in that case, Isaiah Stewart had to do his thing defensively against Karl Anthony Towns.
Willie, I still think you're undervaluing Cat just a little bit. But
A little bit. Well,
Willie, you the man.
I see him fold in the playoffs.
You don't know what's gonna happen when you get that punk slap, though. I love Willie B. though.
Oh, shit.
And look,
Willie
I
is
got
the
my
man.
players. I was gonna go a little bit different, and I do believe this thing is gonna rest heavy on what Isaiah Stewart and Asar Thompson bring to the table. But one player I've been thinking about a lot, who had a great start to the season and helped to bolster this team when their offensive cohesion wasn't the best. And throughout the season, he's shown up really big. And when he got back from injury, he still showed up pretty big for this team. Can be streaky at times. But when he's going, he's going. I do think that that's going to be Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
I believe he has an opportunity to go out there and hit that connection he has with Cade Cunningham, the way he supports him, the way he just swings the rock, the way he'll go in there and step up and set up and take the charge. I laughed. I'll be honest with you, and I feel bad. I kind of chuckled when he was like, at the media day, y'all know I'll take charges. And it was just like, you're gonna hit the threes, are you gonna be this, are you gonna be that?
Right.
And then you go out there and you see him early in the season while they're still trying to figure things out, literally leading the team and charges taken. And so I do. I believe that you're gonna see something really good out of Tim Hardaway in this series. He's gonna step up and be one of those guys out of nowhere. You're like, yo, he's averaging 17 a game in this series, hitting a 3 at one of those kind of heater clips that we can see him get off to. I think we're gonna see Tim Hardaway on a heater in this playoffs.
17 points per game, maybe plus 40%.
I would love that.
They win the series.
Yeah.
If that happens.
I think
They
we
win,
see
yeah.
him just kind of go off, man. I really do. But what we got next?
Next is the Jalen Duren question that I really wanted to ask Rod, but this was a good one by you, Kool-Aid. Jalen Duren will take a star-type leap this postseason, swish or brick.
Jalen Duren has been a very, very popular topic of conversation here at
Sure
Woodward
has.
Pistons. Is he the 2? Is he the 3? Do you even classify him as such because he's a big man? But Jalen Duren's impact is something that cannot be, undervalued here, especially with the leaps he's taking on the defensive side and trying to become a better two-way player and much more reliable on the offensive side this year. The number one lob connection in the NBA is Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. And when you talk about the playoffs, when you talk about the skill set he has, you're going to have even more opportunities for that type of half-court play. And this is where I do believe you see Jalen Duren take a big leap forward. both sides of the court in the series against the Knicks, and all eyes will be on him. We know this. It's 2 parts with Star. It's 3 parts. You have to show up, you have to win, and you got to have the eyes on you. And right now, they have the eyes on him. They've done the first 2, and he has to continue to perform.
This is where the wording is going to be the answer to my question. Brick. I don't think he's going to take a star type leap because I still think that his game is a little bit too limited to have a star-like impact. I think he's got to get better defensively, and he's got to obviously develop somewhat of a perimeter game. But can he be incredibly impactful in this series? Can he help limit Karl Anthony Towns? Can he catch lobs? Can he get rebounds? Absolutely he can. I think that Jalen Duren will just be that really good center that contributes to a winning Pistons series. Maybe gives you, I think Wheezy D13 in the chat, 16 and 10. You know what? I'll go 15 and 13. Maybe a couple assists, maybe a couple blocks. That to me is what I think Jalen Duren's going to do.
That'd be a great series, though.
Yes. That would be. And you know, he has an opportunity to even push that a little bit higher when you're talking about putbacks, when you're talking about the lob connections, when you're talking about the interior passing that they can get into. We've seen Asar Thompson feed him for some easy buckets as well in the half court. That's where I do believe he has a chance to get more. If this becomes a half court series, if the pace slows, Jalen Duren's stats could look pretty gaudy.
Well, if it's like 20 and 12, then you could say he took a star leap. At least you could argue it.
But I like where your stat line is at right now. The 15 and 13 would be really
that'd be
great
amazing.
first
To me,
playoff.
that is a star league. If you
That'd
ask
be
me,
great.
In the playoffs,
You're talking about star though.
yeah, but in the playoffs though,
If the defense was on another level, like if he took a step and his stocks are like 4.5,
yeah.
I could start to go that.
Because we all know offensively he's a little limited. But if he can go out there and put up 15 and still crash the boards for 13 and give you the stocks, that's to me a star type performance. But we'll get into it. I want to get JB's opinion.
What up, JB?
I gotta go with Flannel on this one and give it a brick as well too. I don't think he'll take a star type leap because he definitely will get tested during these whole entire playoff series, but I can see him growing and learning a lot more at each series that they go in and each game that they go in. So it's still a brick for me, but I can still see the potential that Duren will have soon enough.
Nah, this is going to be a switch for me, and I'll take it a step further. He has to have a star level performance, and once again, this is why he is the number 2.
He's still all chips in.
No, but this is why he is the number 2, because you're relying on him for a multitude of things in this playoff series. Who are you relying on for rebounds in this series? It would be Jalen Duren. Who are you relying on being the main pick and roll partner for Cade Cunningham? It is Jalen Duren in this series. Who are you relying on for most of the low post defense in this series? It is Jalen Duren. And you can argue Isaiah Stewart, but he's not going to get the minutes that Jalen Duren's going to get, especially against Cat in the paint. So he's going to have to go out there and not only be great defensively, but he's going to have to provide a level of a threat, you know, in the pick and roll game, being able to, you know, get put back dunks, like you said, second chance points, just being aggressive and being a force down there. And defensively, he has to step up. I mean, they're
out of foul trouble trying to defend.
Exactly. And it's same case for Beef Stew too. You have to stay on the court regardless of what happens. Even if you're not playing your best game, you're more valuable to this team on the floor than on the bench. And that's something that both of those guys have to worry about. But just overall, all the things that you need out of one singular player, I would say he's the second most important player in this series, bro. If he goes out there and lays a dud, the Pistons don't win, and they might even get swept. So I think it's Swish.
What up, though?
I get a Swish. I definitely give him a Swish because he definitely gonna show out. If he don't have to have a polished post game or a perimeter shot. He gotta do what he does best: getting the lobs, get more rebounds. If he average 20 and 20 and step up in blocks and shut down the Karl Anthony Towns or the front court, he gonna show that. It shows that how Jalen Duren evolves.
You calling for 20 and 20, Will?
I call it
20 and 20. Yeah, we not asking for 20 and 20.
Or you talking about the whole series?
One time. I mean, averaging 20 and 13 in the series.
I can see him go off for one game.
One game. I thought you were averaging.
I thought not averaging, but averaging a good basic 18 and 15 in series and 2 blocks. That was still the deal of Jalen Duren evolve as